Good evening, beautiful people of the You Create the Dream page, and welcome to Awake in the Dream. This is our fortnightly call. Just making sure that everything is appearing okay. Good evening, good evening. Do say hi as you come on. Let me know that you're here so I can acknowledge your beautiful presence. The topic I want to talk about today is don't give up on yourself. Just making sure that we're all okay here. Do say hi as you come on. Okay, so as I mentioned, the topic is don't give up on yourself. This week has been a tough week for many of you, and I've had quite a few people reach out. Sorry, I have some pop ups happening. Okay, so I've had quite a few people reach out, and they've been going through some really tough times. And whilst I've not had the time to have a look at what's happening astrologically or any of that, so I can't speak to any of that, it's evident that there is something going on because many people have reached out. I've spoken to dozens who've been going through some really big things, lots of uncertainties, doubts, self-doubts, health issues, work challenges, issues going on with family members, all sorts of things have been going on. But what I want you to tap into is that part of you that refuses to give up no matter how heavy life has felt. So that's what tonight is about. I'm just going to make sure our comments are all working okay. Sorry, I need to turn the volume down on my phone. So here we go. Hello, no comments on the computer. They're all on the phone. Good evening, beautiful Libby. How are you? Kerry, hello, hello. Renee, hello, beautiful people. Lovely to see you. Libby, I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. So, as I mentioned, we're talking about the fact that you should never ever give up on yourself. And I'm wanting you to tap into that part of you that refuses to give up, no matter how tough life gets, no matter how heavy it can feel. Because I want to speak directly to that part of you. We're going to start with this. Life is not a circle. You are never doing a complete loop. It is not a circle. It's more of a spiral. It might feel that you're revisiting similar lessons. They might feel like familiar emotions, or you might find yourself facing challenges that look and feel a lot like the things that you've experienced before. But here's the truth. You are never back where you started. It's not possible. Each time you return to a familiar struggle or an emotion, what you're doing it is you're meeting it with a greater level of awareness. You're meeting it with deeper strength, more knowing, new tools that you didn't have before. You're also now dealing with different aspects of that thing. So remember, it's a spiral. We go through stuff. Sometimes we're amazing. Everything up here feels amazing. We've got it all sorted. We're living in alignment. Then shit happens. Stuff happens, right? So we're going through that challenge, but we're meeting it with a greater awareness. We're learning. We have free will and choice there. You always have free will and choice. But for those of us that choose to learn and grow through it, we move through the experience, we learn and grow, we gather momentum, and we come up and expand. We come up and expand. So it's a spiral. It's not a circle. You're meeting things with greater awareness, with greater strength, with new tools that you didn't have before. Therefore, it doesn't trap you like it used to. It doesn't trigger you like it used to. And if you get triggered, you're not there as long as you used to. Unless, of course, that's what you choose for yourself, because you will always have free will and choice. The spiral moves upwards and outwards. It expands, and so do you. So no matter how enlightened you become, life still happens. Challenges still happen. Why? Because life isn't, what am I looking for? The term I'm looking for here. Life isn't meant, oh, here's a good one. Life isn't meant to be a flatlined bliss. Honestly and truly, would you like to live life flatlined? I don't think so. It's not meant to be a flat-lined bliss. It's meant to grow you. It's meant to shape you. And it's meant to pull... what am I trying to say here? It's meant to pull out. It is meant to pull out of you the power that you didn't know you had. Because it's all inside of you. It isn't outside of you. So you're being shaped, you're being molded, you're being stretched, you're growing as this power, as you go into the depths of yourself and pull out a power in you that you didn't realize that you had. Because the truth is, you were never, ever meant to be the same. And that's why I want you all to understand that giving up on yourself has to not be an option. It can never be an option. No matter how far you think you're fallen, no matter how stuck or lost you've felt, you are not the person that began this journey. The lessons that you've learned, the pains that you've endured, the love you've given, the love you've received, they've all shaped you. You've outgrown the old version of you, even when it feels like nothing is changing on the surface. Trust me, everything is changing inside of you. Those old demons will come back. Those old things will come back to try and convince you that you're still the same, to pull you back into the depths, to test your resolve. And it only happens when you're on the very apex, on the very edge of great change. But the truth is, you cannot go back. It's not possible to go back. Not because it's too hard, but because you've evolved beyond it. You have evolved beyond your old self. So if right now you're in the thick of it, if you're going through something big, if you're tired, if you're overwhelmed, if you're questioning whether it's all worth it, then I want this to be your reminder. Do not give up on yourself. Most people give up way too soon. Most people start businesses and close within 12 months. Statistics actually shows that 60% of businesses close within the first 3 years. They're the facts, they're the statistics. Most people give up on a dream right before their breakthrough. They get bashed around. They question, how much more can I take? And they pull the pin. Why? Because they expected results far sooner. But mastery, success, deep transformation, they're rarely instant. Being consistent, even when it feels like things aren't working, is so important. If you keep chopping and changing, I'm going to do this. I'll chase this sparkly object. I'll try this now, I'll do this now. I'm not sure if I want this anymore. I'll do this. If you're not consistent, how can the universe know what it is that you want? If you're not consistent and apply yourself consistently, how are you going to get results? So you have to be absolutely clear on what it is that you want, how you want it to look, how you want things to feel. And you have to be prepared to hold that vision, not keep chopping and changing, but to hold that vision. Mastery, success, and deep transformation, they are all born in the stretch. They're born in those moments where you want to quit, but you choose to hold on. They're born in the silence, in the small actions, in the decision to keep going when nothing around you is validating your vision yet. And you ask any successful person, and they will tell you that they had to go through that. You ask any successful person, you'll see a post of mine that I shared this past week. The struggle is real, but you hold tight. You hold firm on your vision, and success is yours. You ask any successful person, They did the long hours. They did the long haul with no results. But they kept on going. They proved themselves worthy. There are so many people that got a whole lot of no's, but they didn't give up. So I want to talk about a few of those people, just so that you never forget your dream, so that you never forget what's possible. And let's look at starting right here in Australia. Let's look at Paul Cave as an example. He had a dream to take people on top of the Sydney Harbour Bridge. And it sounds amazing, right? Back then, it was classified as impossible, never going to happen. He actually spoke at my daughter Ashley's Year 12 presentation and end of school presentation. And it was amazing to listen to. But I believe his grandfather had the first ticket when the public were allowed to walk across the bridge, and he kept this ticket of his grandfather's in his wallet, and that's what inspired him to keep on going. But for 10 years, he was told no. He was told no by the lawyers, no by the councils, no by the insurers. Could you imagine how expensive insurance is? No by the engineers, no by the government bodies. You name it, every single person he approached, everybody he approached, every government body said no. 10 years of knockbacks, 10 years of people telling him, just quit, give up, it's stupid. Look at how much time you're putting into this. Maybe it's not worth it, mate. Give up, mate. Don't you know when it's time to stop? He didn't look at all these no's and say, oh, that's the universe giving me a sign. He didn't do that. He had a vision. He was so connected with his heart and what he wanted for his heart, and he used his heart as a GPS, that he stayed strong and he held that vision and he kept taking steps no matter how many times people said no. He didn't give up. And today, the Sydney Harbour Bridge climb is the number one thing that you can do in Sydney, the number one tourist attraction in Sydney. And I believe it's over 4 million people have climbed it from all over the world. 10 years of no. But he stayed focused. So then my question to you with this one is, what if Paul Cave gave up in the 9th year? What if 9 years and 3 months into his consistent struggle to make this happen, what if in that 9th year he went, you know what? They've been saying no for 9.5 years, or 9 years and 3 months. They've been saying no. I've got to know. I've got to pull the pin because I've been getting signs all this time. What if he gave up then? What if you are closer to your breakthrough than you realize? What if you are closer to your dream than you realize? What if? So I'm asking you to hold the vision. Believe in yourself. Don't give up on yourself. Another person, how about J.K. Rowling? She was a single mother living on government assistance. I believe she would get on the train and she would be so scared of the train attendant coming up and asking to show the ticket, because she couldn't even afford to buy the train ticket. She couldn't afford the cost of photocopying her manuscript to send to multiple publishers. Do you know how many times her books were rejected? I think it was 12 times. There was somewhere else I read about 20, but I think it was 12 times that they were rejected, or her book was rejected. Some publishers actually even said to her, no one's ever going to want to read a book about some young wizard. One advised her to, quit writing, go and get a day job, because you're never going to make any money writing children's books. But she believed in herself. She believed in herself when others didn't. She didn't stop. She believed in her story, and eventually one small publisher, a very small publisher, said yes. And today the Harry Potter series, which is now a series, has sold over 500 million copies and created a global empire. I believe at one point she was even wealthier than the Queen. So if she had let all of those rejections define her, the world would never have known the magic that she shares in those books. So when you hit roadblocks, when you hit brick walls, when you hit a no, it doesn't mean no. It means not yet. And when you get yourself right, when you get your alignment right, things flow far more easily. But it's never a no, it's a not yet, because you have free will and choice. You just have to get the energetics right. So it's not a no, it's a not yet. Then let's look at Sylvester Stallone. Hello, Katerina, how are you? Let's look at Sylvester Stallone. He wrote Rocky. I don't know if anybody knows that, but he actually wrote the script for Rocky, a script that he believed in with his whole heart. But he was broke. He had no money to produce it himself. And he was rejected. Do you know how many times he was rejected? Over 1,500 times. Over 1,500 times he was rejected by agents. And at one point he was so poor that he had no choice but to sell his dog for $25 just so he could eat. And then eventually a studio offered him $125,000 for the script, but they said they didn't want him to star in it. He was broke. He sold his dog just so he could eat, but he said no to the $125,000 because he believed in his dream. He believed in what he had written, and he believed that he was the one that should star in it. So he said no. He said no, and he held out because he believed in his dream in every way. And then eventually he got an amazing deal and he got to do the starring role. In effect, he got his dream. And the first thing that he did with his very first check was that he went and bought his dog back for $15,000. So he sold his dog for $25 and bought it back for $15,000. And Rocky went on to win 3 Oscars, launched a global franchise, and literally, became an incredible star, right? All because he chose to not give up. He didn't give up on himself. He didn't give up on his vision. No matter what happened, no matter how many times he hit a wall, no matter how hungry he got, even being offered $125,000, he stuck with his dream. Then another one, Sarah Blakely. She started Spanx. She started Spanx with just $5,000 and a belief in her idea. And she was rejected by every single hosiery mill that she contacted. Every single one of them. Men laughed at her idea. And she was told again and again that it's never going to work. But she didn't give up on her dream. She persisted. She didn't take no for an answer. She knew it was just not yet, not the right time, not the right person. And today she's one of the youngest self-made female billionaires, and Spanx is a globally recognized brand. Let me know if this is landing. Are you starting to recognize that you've had dreams throughout your life and maybe you quit too soon? That maybe you've got something that you'd love to do now, but you think you're not enough or you're not believing in yourself. It's never a no, it's just a not yet. So these 4 people that I've shared with you, what is it they all have in common? They all had a vision that nobody else could see because everybody else was rejecting them. They didn't look at that and say, oh, it's a sign from the universe. They could feel the truth in their bones and they kept at it. It was never a no, it was a not yet. And instead of quitting and chasing the next sparkly object, they stood their ground and they held and owned their power. They didn't give it a go for 2 weeks and go, no, I'm going to try this now and I'll do that now and maybe I'll do this and maybe I'll do that and keep bunny hopping all over the place. They held that vision. They didn't quit on themselves. They stood their ground. They owned their power. They heard more no's than most people could ever handle. But they knew that it meant not yet. Perhaps there's more work to do. Perhaps there's more you need to learn. Perhaps you need to truly believe in yourself. But they stuck with it. No was not the universe speaking. It was people. They held a vision. They kept going anyway. None of them waited for the world to believe in them. None of them waited for the world to present something to them. They believed in themselves first, and they believed in themselves wholeheartedly. They got themselves into alignment and magic happened. So what about you? What dream have you been placing on hold? What desires have you been second guessing? Sometimes we think we're starting from scratch, but we're actually just starting from now. You're starting from experience. You're starting from wisdom. You're starting from resilience. You're starting from clarity. You don't start over. You just start from now. Today's your day one. You just need to recommit. You just need to not give up on yourself. So if you've paused for a moment, that's okay, rest. But if you've fallen, rise. Don't give up on the calling that's in your heart. Because that desire that you feel, that nudge, that pull, it's not random, it's your soul speaking. And your soul, and your heart of hearts, it never, ever lies. Never. So, we've got Libby landing. Beautiful. So if you can, I'd like to do a process with you. Just to reconnect you with yourself. To move beyond some glass ceilings, some self-imposed limitations perhaps. So I'd like you to simply close your eyes if you can. Take a deep breath in and exhale. And again, a deep breath in and exhale. And one more time, a deep breath in and exhale, releasing the worries, the limiting thoughts, the noise around you. Just let it all go. Begin to feel your body supported beneath you. Feel the ground beneath your feet or chair, or beneath your spine if you're laying down. Feel the sacred safety of this moment. And now imagine that you're standing at the base of a grand staircase. One made of light, energy, and ancient power. This is no ordinary staircase. It spirals upward, not in a loop, but like a DNA, and evolving, expanding, rising. Each step is encoded with the wisdom of who you are becoming. That's right. You look down at your feet and you realize that you've already taken the first steps. Everything that you've faced, everything that you've overcome, every tear, every triumph, all of it The journey has brought you to this moment. And now take your next step, and with it, release the version of you who doubted yourself. Release the version of you who waited for permission. Release the version of you who thought that you had to prove your worth. And with each step, you find yourself rising higher and higher, higher and higher. You rise into your truth. You rise into your power. You rise into the unstoppable force of your becoming. And now, as you reach the next platform, you see the future you, the you who didn't give up, the you who stood tall even when your knees trembled, the you who kept showing up even when no one saw you. That version turns now to face you and smiles. That version recognizes you because that's who you are. Look into the eyes of that version of you. Really connect. Feel that powerful energy enter you, becoming one with each cell of your body. Feel the strength. Feel the certainty, the softness, and the fire. Feel that magnificent heart of yours expanding as it fills with this amazing energy. That version of you places their hand over your heart and you place your hand over theirs. And together you say, thank you. Thank you. I don't know how, I don't need to know how, but thank you. Thank you. Nice, deep breaths. You don't need to know every step. You just need to remember who you are. Let this moment seal within you. Let it anchor into every cell of your being. Let it be your compass. Whenever doubt tries to return, let your vision be your compass. Because you are the one that you've been waiting for. You are the leader. You are the healer. You are the creator. You are the way forward. And take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, bring that version with you. That version that doesn't live in the distance anymore. It's the version that lives in you. And when you're ready, gently bring your awareness back into the room, back fully into your body. Wiggling your fingers, your toes, rolling back your shoulders. And taking a deep breath in. And as you exhale, opening your eyes. You have risen. You are home. And from here, everything changes. Remember, the spiral is always rising and expanding, and so are you. Your life is not looping. It can't. Your life is evolving. You are always being prepared. You are not ever being punished. You are gathering momentum. You're not failing. You're not falling. And the one thing that can stop you, the only thing that can stop you is you if you give up on you. And the only thing that guarantees your breakthrough is that you don't give up on you. So don't wait for the world to understand. Don't wait for the path to be made clear. Just take the next step. You take that step with faith. You take that step with fire, with strength, with courage, with wisdom, and with love. The world needs only what it is that you can bring. So don't rob yourself of your purpose, and don't rob the world of the gift of you rising. Stay the course, because your breakthrough is always, always far closer than you think. Hey Kristen, how are you, sweetheart? So I'm going to leave it there. Stay the course, everybody. No matter how enlightened we become, stretches, challenges, growth, it's all going to remain a part of life. It's not a circle. It's a spiral, and you are forever expanding. You rise, you expand. Just don't give up on yourself. All right, much love to you all. Hold the vision, and I wish for you everything your heart desires and so much more. I look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks. Much love.